Well, listen, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm excited about covering some information with y'all. Today is the first day of American Indian National Heritage Month. So props to all of you who maybe have Native American in you, and props to all the Native Americans who were here before us. So it's the beginning of that month. We recognize. Anyway, I hope you had a great weekend. A lot of fabulous things are happening. This is our leadership locker room call. If you're new to D.A.C, welcome. We're glad to have you. Truly, it's our intent to deliver an opportunity for you to succeed. And so we do everything we can from the product to our corporate people and to our purpose to deliver that. So if you are brand new with us, welcome. This call on Mondays is designed as our leadership locker room, as I've said, which means it's for people that want to lead a team, a portfolio of agencies. You have a business owner mindset where you're saying, I don't want to just be self-employed acquiring customers, but I also want to be a business owner having a portfolio of agencies that I mentor, train, teach, and I can earn from. That's what the leadership locker room call is designed for, to help people who want to take on that role. And it all starts, guys, if you want to be successful in leading a large portfolio of agencies or an agency team, then it starts by being the example, right? You got to be an example before you can teach the example. So the good news is you can teach our methods even before you've succeeded with them, as long as you're teaching them. And as long as you're not lacking in integrity and telling people you're having more success than you're having, just be honest. You're getting started. If you don't have clients yet, that's okay. It doesn't mean you can't teach what we teach for getting clients. You know, you can teach the McDonald's franchise even if you've never made a burger, as long as you study the franchise and you say, okay, this is how we make burgers. Even if you've never made one, you can still teach what you learned about how to make the burgers. Now, eventually you got to get behind the grill and make a burger, right? So you can understand how to deal with the heat or how to deal with the slippery floor, or, you know, all the things that come with making the burger beyond just take the patty of the certain size, put it on the conveyor at a certain time, and, you know, it's 1 squirt of ketchup, 1 squirt of mustard. You got to do it, right? Until you've done it, you can't fully appreciate what's involved. But you can teach it. So a lot of people make the mistake, I think, of not building a team of agencies until they've gotten clients themselves. And I know from an integrity standpoint, some people say, I just don't feel like I should recruit a team until I've gotten customers myself. And I would just challenge that belief. I think it's off a little bit. I felt similarly, but I will tell you that I had a team of agents who probably had 10 or 11 customers before I ever got my first customer. And had I waited till I got my first customer, I don't know that I would have, because those first few customers that came, those first few clients who got funding before I ever was able to get one, gave me confidence of how many business owners needed this. I believed it, but you can believe something and not have confidence in it, or have little confidence. But when your belief is, you know, there's an old saying, and it says, faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. Well, I've always taken that to be, you either have faith or you have doubt. You can't have both. There's not a scale. Faith is either a yes or no thing. So you either believe or you don't. And so I believe that belief can have a gradient. You know, you can partially believe, you can think it's pretty good. But when I had people who had success getting clients, and I was talking to those clients and I heard their stories, it didn't matter that I never had gotten a client yet. I knew how amazing it was. My thought, my hope went from a belief to a commitment, confirmed. You can't unchange it now, right? So if you've never gotten a client, don't let that be a reason to not build a team. They may actually help you, but teach the D.A.C way. And you got to believe in what you're hearing about the D.A.C way before you ever build a team. Okay, don't build a team if you're not going to do it the D.A.C way. It's like selling a McDonald's restaurant to someone and say, make burgers any way you want. Or I don't know how to make burgers, figure it out. You know, do it the D.A.C way, or don't recruit anyone. All right. Be very, very selective. On Friday, we talked at length about the type people we want to be. If you didn't watch Friday's Zoom, go back and watch that. So it's beginning of the month tomorrow. First Tuesday of the month means new business opportunity meeting and new training. Okay. So tomorrow night, we're going to have a joint training. It's going to be funding and ERCs. We're going to talk about both tomorrow, funding and ERCs. tomorrow night at 9 p.m. 8 o'clock, we have a biz op meeting. Okay, so this is a big opportunity to promote to others. And from there forward, we might start doing the biz op more frequently, but we don't want to commit to that yet because we want to make sure you fill tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern will be the first of the month. We always do it the first Tuesday of every month. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, business opportunity overview. We may have a guest doing that. Why? Well, my daughter, who's a senior in high school, plays varsity volleyball. Tomorrow is their first game of playoffs. It starts at 5 p.m. and it's about an hour from my home. So 8 p.m. biz up. It could be the last game she ever plays in. I'm not going to miss her game to do our biz op. So I'm going to reach out to Ellen Wynn and I'm going to reach out to others and start with Ellen. I see your thumbs up. Ellen, can you be our go-to tomorrow? Okay. So we'll have it covered no matter what. I'm excited to do it tomorrow at 8 o'clock, but if for some reason I'm running late, I'm just not going to be able to be there, then Ellen will be in the driver's seat. And actually, I think she does a better presentation. I just have to get one down myself tomorrow. So I'm shooting to be there, but if not, Ellen Wynn's got it. So we've got you covered either way. And then I'll be on at the training at 9 o'clock. We might even be able to rally in some Bank Breezy people and some others. I loved watching Friday. Ellen, Harlequin, Shantae, Nicholas, Dehane, Jamar. I love when the five of them were on screen. I mean, I think there's a lot of value with you guys coming together. You know, there's a lot of people who spoke up and shared, and there's something about watching a group of people interact. It's like the boardroom. So I'm sitting in a training center right now, and I was just talking to Tyler about when I first got started in this industry. We spent literally tens of thousands of dollars every month on training centers and training, and so much so that I have a hard time asking people to do it because hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent on training seminars, and I learned eventually most people aren't going to apply what they learned in training. So I could no longer promote these expensive trainings, even though it helped me get out of General Motors. I had just a sense of I can't sell the training to the masses anymore because I never know who's going to make it and who's not. That's why we're free. That's why we're free right now. I don't want to make a dime before someone's made a dollar. I don't want to make a dollar before they've made a dime, that's for sure. But I don't mind making a dime when someone makes a dollar, but I'm not going to sell expensive things to make money on people's excitement and hopeful motivation. There's companies out there that do great jobs as seminar companies, but I believe that 95% of the people who go to those $12,000, $4,000, $3,000, $17,000 trainings never make a dime. Or never make that money back. That doesn't mean they're bad. It's the person who's not applying what they learn. It's their fault. Right. But I don't want to be a promoter of that. So it's with that everything we do is providing an opportunity. So in this training center here, there's a camaraderie. What I miss is, I spent a lot of money. I had my name on 3 leases. And then we had about 10 or 15 leases in our organization, offices that we all met every day at. No one had Zoom. You had to build a facility, and hotels were so expensive. It was cheaper to just rent an office for $3,000 a month and have a bunch of people pay a part-time fee to work there and cover the cost, right? Now you got a cooperative training center, and there was nothing better than sitting around watching the interaction. There's something about 7 or 8 people being live together, or 70 or 80 live together, talking about what are you doing? It's encouraging, it lifts up. And so as much as we don't have a training center environment, we have Zoom, me getting out of the way and having platforms. So I'm even looking at maybe having a Wednesday agent DAC 4 and above get together, or come up with something. We got to have something where you guys all get to mingle and chat and get me out of the way. And you guys soar without my oversight or without my restrictive nature because I'm the founder. Well, hey, listen, it's up to me. This company started for you guys to soar, not for me to be admired or speaking all the time. All right. So looking forward to watching you guys do your part. ERCs. A lot of good stuff going on right now with the ERCs. You guys are doing fabulous. The status updates, keep in mind, we're fine-tuning. One of the issues, leaders, is status updates. What we've said is when people fill out the form and leave our site and go to theirs, they then have to fill out the form more. And once they fill that out, they upload their documents. Once the documents are reviewed, they move to the next stage of either waiting on documents tier 1, where they've sent something, hey, we need more. We reviewed it, we've missed something. And then there's even something called waitings on document 2. That means the CPA team looked at it and they've got a follow-up question. So we're trying to figure out the best way to do this, because if we tell you we've got all the documents, then you assume everything's good. But a lot of times there's a request for a follow-up document. And so it's all manual right now. So I'm going to be talking with Tyler and Morgan about how to, because Bank Breezy can get access to that information, but it's not automated. And they have no way to know who the agent is. Okay. D.A.C knows who the agent is. Bank Breezy actually does track it and send it to us, the agent. But when they look in the system at ERC Pros, it doesn't show your name as a sub-agent. So there's got to be a manual lookup based on customer name, right? Submission date, all these things to figure out manually who to give credit to and to notify. So it takes some time for everyone, and status codes change. So we're looking at how to manually give that. And I believe what we're going to do is have a status update that says all documents received. Maybe there'll be a waiting on documents tier 1, meaning a new request has been made for more docs. Waiting on docs 2, a secondary request has been made for more docs, or calculating. By the way, we have had our first credit go through completely. Okay, so that's good news. When I say go through completely, already calculated, signed off by the client, and is being submitted to the IRS. So that's good news. Hasn't paid and gotten the credit yet, but it's a small one, but it already went through the system. So we've gotten one, the first one. I know we've had more than one, but the first one went through Thursday of last week. So that's good news. So we're still fine tuning this, guys. Eventually we want it all automated, right? I talked to Jeremy, who you guys all know Jeremy from when he spoke at ERC Pros. They're working on getting it so when you leave Bank Breeze, you go right into further in the system on the ERC system, where you're just now adding a couple more things and then you're in document upload. So rather than going to that first page that exists, it's being built out. It's not something that's real because it's only for us. So, you know, it's taking them a little time, but that is the plan. They had another catch-up plan Friday. He's going to let me know today an ETA on that. All right. I don't have that ETA yet. They're mountain time, so we don't have that information yet. I've not even reached out to them, frankly, today. Could be in my inbox. I've not been in my emails for the last couple hours. So that is, you know, that's our goal. Further goals, you know, when we talk about, you know, the product, the people, and the purpose, you know, we're looking at how do we make the product better for the business owner. Well, that means we need some explainer videos. We need some commercials. We need some things that explain it for you. Also, the product is your business opportunity. Your opportunity to be an effective agent means some better training, some sales tools, sales aids. So those are all things with this ERC program we want to deliver to you. Getting the one packet for all of our services in one packet with all the features and benefits of each service, how to market each service, the process for each service, how to follow up on each service to get referrals on each service. Those are all things that help equip you to be a more effective agent. It's all out there in videos, and it's all out there. If you've been plugging into all this, we've covered it all. If you've been on the trainings, you've heard it all. You know it all. I mean, if I asked you to do a training right now on how to do follow-ups with business funding, how do you follow up with someone you've already talked to? And how do you follow up after they get a client? You know what you would teach. I said, just speak about it right now. You'd maybe feel on the spot, but you could certainly sit down over the next 20 minutes and write it down. You know, you don't need necessarily more. That's not the holdup, but we want to make it into a simple package that's easy to find. The Agent Resource Center redesigned to be more efficient. As we grow, it's starting to get a little more confusing. Even our website now with so many menu items at the top, you know, it wasn't built to have 7 services or 6 services. It was built with 2, right? So now we got to look at how do we menuize it so that it's a little more efficient. Do we put all the funding under one tab? You know, so those are all the things that we're reviewing to improve. As leaders, you need to know that. But So knowing that, we're going to keep working on the corporate side. All I wanted to talk to you guys about today before we go to your questions is, what can you do to be a better leader for your team? How can you be the ideal leader for your portfolio of agencies? I was talking to Tyler, he's in real estate. We're talking about investment properties, what it takes to buy them, maintain them, et cetera. And, you know, I was saying, that's why I love this. I mean, if you recruit a brand new person and you are selective in who you're working with, and you have a personally enrolled agent, and you can help them make 50 grand a year, even in personal commissions, you're making 12.5. It's a lot more than you're going to make on a rental property, without the risk, without the worrying about the insurance, without worrying about whether the furnace blows out, without worrying about whether there's a crack on the sidewalk that's going to cause a lawsuit, without worrying about a tree falling through the roof and you got to replace the whole roof, without worrying about any of that. Yeah, there's a lot of headaches in what we do, but not near as much as most businesses. And if you could just say, I'm going to, as a leader in D.A.C, I'm going to build a team of 10 personally enrolled agents who all make 50,000 or more a year, just 10 who make 50,000 or more a year. Well, that's 500,000. If you're not amped up, you make 25% of that, 125 grand. If you're amped up, you make 50% of that, 250,000. Do you need 700 people in your team? No. Now, you don't stop yourself from having 700, of course, but you as a leader can control whether you have 10 rental properties. If you're in the real estate business, how many rentals do you have? You control that, not the economy. It's what you want to do and not do, right? And of course, certain things make it more advantageous than others. The winds change, we just adjust our sails, right? So you determine how many personally enrolled agents you have who are successful, not me. You do. Where's your focus lie? What are you doing to help find those 10? What are you doing to be selective? What are you doing to mentor those 10 one-on-one, 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 one-on-one? What game plans are you doing with them one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one? That's how you can control it better. Every single person that you personally work with and have a personal relationship with, you can help them accomplish that income or more, right? And the ERCs are just going to add more money to it over time. Okay, they're going to add more money to it. So so that's what I asked. What can you do? And I'd say it starts with, what's my onboard process? How do I onboard them? And if you're not doing these three things, 1, making sure they watch all the training videos, 2, game plan, 3, recipe in that game plan to get the income they want to make. Those 3 things have to be talked about with everyone you personally introduce. And then the recipe for the game plan needs to be your responsibility is to help them accomplish that by, if nothing else, encouraging their activity level. You can't guarantee that they're going to earn that 50,000 or 100,000 or 600,000 or 30,000, whatever number they put for their annual goal, that you break down into monthly, and then you work into how many connections they need to have, how many engaging conversations they need to have. You can't guarantee that those 40 conversations will turn into a funding or ERC. You can't guarantee that. But what you can guarantee is that they had the 40 conversations. You can use the law of averages over time. Over time, 40 business owner connections will equal a funding application. 80 conversations will equal a funding. Over time, you can count, if you have 160 conversations, real conversations this week, you're probably going to get 2 fundings. Now, they may occur over the next 2 months. They may not get the funding right now, but you should have 2 fundings within a week or 2 of having all those conversations. Because for every 80 conversations you have, you should have 2 applications now. And of those 80 conversations, you may get another 5 or 6 fundings down the road from those 80. So I say, measure your connections, measure the amount of connections you're having with business owners. How do you connect with 20 business owners at once? Join a chamber of commerce and go to the meetings every week and speak for 5 minutes in front of them. You just connected with 15 business owners like that. Right. So start thinking, how do you get to a lot of ERCs? How about recruiting a CPA? You want to recruit a CPA. We got a CPA who just started with us. He's like, what's my link? Because I've already got 12 clients ready to apply. 12 from one CPA. And so, if I'm you, I'm reaching out to CPAs and asking them how they're treating Can we make a tool to help you? Yes. But until that tool is live, what can you do? You can reach out to CPAs and say, hey, how are you treating the ERCs right now? What are you doing to support your clients with ERCs? Do you have an outreach program to them? No, I don't have the time to work with all of them. Okay, well, we've got a company that you can partner with that will do all the ERC work for your client at 20% cost upon receiving the credit. If they don't get a credit, it costs them nothing. You don't have to evaluate it for them. This company will do it for them. And you can just come up with some language that you say to your clients. I'm not working the ERCs, but you may be eligible based on this. If you click on this link, you can go through the process, determine your eligibility. They charge 20% of the credit fee. And leave it at that. You may be able to recruit 50, you may recruit one CPA at least right now, and that may turn into a bunch of clients. Okay, that's just an idea. But definitely you can control the onboarding process. Did they watch the trainings? Did you do a game plan? The recipe from the game plan, are they living it? Someone tells you they're going to make 5 contacts a day and they're not, what do you do? First of all, how do you know if they did? How do you know if they made their 5 contacts? What's your style or what's your plan? In the game plan, we teach how to do a game plan. It teaches as well for you to know the recipe and have them text you every day. What are they going to text you? Goal for the day. So what was planned? What was the reality? What accounts for the difference? What can be learned? Those 4 things. The activity goal, the reality, what accounts for the difference, what can be learned. You ask those 4 questions and they just text you that every day. Yeah, my goal is 5. I actually talked to 7. What accounts for the difference? Dude, I was pumped up. I had a couple good calls. It was easy to call others. Great. What can be learned? What can be learned is once I start momentum, you can make as many calls as you want. It's not hard once you get started. Yeah, so maybe you should up your goals to 4 days a week, 10 calls each day, because once you start making them, it's a lot easier to keep going. It's hard to get started that first call every day. But man, once you're going, ooh, keep them going. Keep them going. So that's a simple thing. So what's your onboarding process? And how do you identify who your tenant are going to be? Last thing I'm going to say about this is what is required to succeed in this business as an agent? As an agent, not as a leader, what is required to succeed as an agent? It starts with a willingness to talk to business owners. Not only a willingness, but a capability to do so. So you'll get more capable. Marlo and I had a little study this morning, and I'll end with this. We had a little study this morning, and we were talking about all the things she's doing in her ministry and all the places she's speaking and different things she's doing. And she works on programs as well, but they're all like, it's odd how they're all over the place, but yet she's doing and gaining experience in all of them. I said, it reminds me, like I could go on a pitching mound. By the time I was in high school, I didn't even think about, I wasn't nervous the day I had to pitch because I was a pitcher in Little League and a baseball pitcher. And I was a pitcher in middle school. So I already dealt with the butterflies of what happens if you walk someone, what happens if you hit someone, what happens if you don't pitch well, what happens if you lose a game, what happens if you give up a home run. You learn all that. And eventually those are no longer even concern of you. Now you're thinking, how do I get this guy out? How do I place the ball over there? You're no longer even worried about the fear stuff. So many of you are still stuck with what happens if I hit someone? What happens if I walk them? Oh my God, what happens if I'm out there in the middle of the thing and I got all the eyes on me and I give up a base hit? Oh my God, what if I lose the game? You're still stuck in that. And until you get beyond that phase, the true gifting that you have, the true benefit you have of helping business owners is being snuffed down by fear. And so how do you get beyond that? Iterations. How did I get beyond the fear of the baseball mound? Being on the mound. Being on the mound. Take the mound. Take the mound. Throw a few balls. Throw a few wild pitches. It's okay if you don't throw a strike every time. It doesn't matter if you mess up a conversation. It doesn't matter. You're iterating. You keep going through the cycle, and eventually you're very successful at communicating effectively. So you have to have a willingness, and then you have to have a capability. The capability comes from reading our training, believing in what we do, and doing it. And doing it and doing it. And over time, you become super capable. Up front, you're not going to be super capable. You're going to be going through the motions, and it's okay to muddy the water a little bit. You'll still get clients. You'll still bump and bruise. You don't know me directly. I just want to introduce myself. I'm in business funding. That's hard for some of you to say right now. It's not hard for me to say. I've said it so many times. I'm not thinking about how do I open a conversation. I don't even open them all that way. Sometimes that's what comes out. Sometimes it doesn't, because I've opened it so many times. I don't have to just throw fastballs. I can throw a curveball now and then, right? And so you can do this. Just take the mound, take the mound, take the mound, take the mound. All right, let's go to your questions. I will tell you, social cards, drop cards, or connect cards, we're calling them now. PDFs, quick reference sheet, all those things for the ERC program are on our list of getting done very soon. So let's go to your questions. Bobby Knight, you're with us, buddy. You get to go first. What do you got, Bobby?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Okay, David, I caught some of what you was talking about. You don't really need a big team of agents. Could you just explain that real quick to me one more time, if you can, David?
Yeah, so what I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a big team of agents. The bigger your team, the more overhead you're going to have. So I'd rather have a larger team than a small team. But there's a philosophy of aim small so you can grow big. If you can build one facility right, if you could have one restaurant that's rocking, you can franchise because you're doing it right. So how do you do it right to have a successful big team? Is you have a successful personal line, successful people that you personally introduced. If you had just 10 people you personally introduced, just 10 agents you personally introduced, it took you 5 years to get there. I don't know, 1 year, 2 years, whatever. But if your goal is, I'm going to help everyone I personally introduce, I want to help them make at least 50 grand a year in personal commissions. Okay. Well, you could go through how much funding, 600,000 in funding at 3% is, 18 grand. So $1 million in funding is 30 grand. So they have to do about, if none of them are amped up, what, 1.3 million, something like that, to make 1.3 times 3% is 3,900, 39,000, whatever the number, 1.5. That's not high enough. About 1.8 million. Yeah, about 1.8 million a year. And they're making 54,000 a year in personal commissions. Forgetting DAC 1, DAC 2, DAC 3, amped up, not amped up. If you can help get them amped up, they only got to be doing 700,000 a year in funding, right? And they're making 50 grand. So if that's your goal, to help someone just get to 50 grand, maybe their goal is to get 100, then help them make 100. If their goal is 150, help them make 150. Someone's only going to be 30. But the point is, you as the enroller make 25%, assuming you're qualified, 25% minimum on what they earn. So if you had 10 people who each made 50,000, that means they've made 500,000 between them. You make 25% of that. That's what's 25% of 500,000? It's 125,000. If you're amped up, you make 50% of the people you personally enrolled, right? What's 50% of 500,000? 250,000. So the point is, if you just had one person who made 50,000 and you're amped up every month, they made 50,000, you're going to make 25,000 this year on their 50,000 success. So you don't have to be real good at leading a massive team. You have to be good at being an example yourself, getting clients, understanding the D.A.C system, operating with integrity, being an agent, having connection conversations, and then, because this is a leader, you never have to recruit anyone, but because this is the leadership Zoom, assuming you all want to build a team, aim small so you can grow big. Be real good at personal agents, and guess what you're going to teach your team? It's called discipleship and mentorship. They're going to copy through osmosis what you do. Do it well with them, and they'll build a good personal team. They'll build a good personal team, which is your second level that you get paid on. And then they'll build the team, and it ripples out. It ripples out. But if you just let anyone get in, you don't care whether they make money or not, you don't care if they watch the training or not, you don't care whether, good luck. You'll recruit 30 people, none of them will make any money. Onboard the right, some of them will, but you can't count on it. It's like having 30 rental properties, but no one's paying rent. You don't know whether people are staying there or not. What good does it have a rental property? You're doing it to bring in rent. So build a team of people who are productive. Or why build a team? Now, most people won't be productive. The good news is they won't lose money here. So get selective in who you recruit. Get selective in the people who get involved. Have some conversations up front. Do you have a willingness to talk? You heard me talk about it Friday if you were on. Flat out, I've got a mission to help this town that I'm in right now, whatever town you're in, help every business owner in this town get access to working capital to take advantage of the strategies they have that they don't have the money to take advantage of, or to help them get credits that they're entitled to because they were the heroes that kept on employees. That's what I want to do in this town, and I need more agents. Do you have any interest in starting your own funding agency to talk to business owners about getting working capital, or I'm afraid to talk to business owners. Okay, then maybe this isn't for you. It's real simple. Are you willing to get over that fear? Heck yeah, if the product's good. Okay, well then come learn about our products. Maybe you get over your fear. I don't know if I'd ever get over my fear. Okay, no problem. It's probably not for you. Next. You don't talk them into it. Doesn't matter if they join. They're not going to do this. I'm never going to be a good barbecue guy. Don't hire me to run your barbecue. I can't tell if a hamburger is done or not done. I don't know. Raw or not raw, don't know. I got to cut it in half to check. Juice is all over the grill because I don't know how to do it. But I'm willing to talk to business owners. So you want me on your team. All right. Hopefully, Bobby, that answered your question. I know it was a long answer. All right. Let's go to any other questions from anybody. I know we've got our chat turned off. We had to turn it off because we were getting some bad stuff entered in the screen. But any other questions from anybody? No. Nick DeHame, you got anything, buddy? Ellen, you got anything? Harlequin does. There's Harlequin. Go ahead, Harlequin. What do you got for us today?
Hey, David, I had a question from one of my team members today.
Yeah.
On the healthcare side.
Yeah.
Are we going to have anything with a health share type plan? I know at one point there was talk that that company we'd been using were going to do something else.
Yeah, there's I can't speak on what SNI is doing. SBA, who we had before, had a product that we're moving away from. But SNI, the plans that are there, that's all we have in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
We had a couple health shares that we were trying to do, but in the end, the commissions aren't the pricing to make money prices them out of the industry. So there's no sense in marketing them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
And for anybody who's going to be in or around West Palm Beach on Monday, I will be there. Not Monday, but Wednesday.
Beautiful.
So reach out to me on Facebook.
Love it. Love it. Thanks, Harlequin. Rock and roll. Have a great trip. And now let's go to Nick DeHame. How you doing, Nicholas?
Good, good. David, how are you?
Good. You're looking sharp as always.
All right. Thank you. You too, man. Always. And no, it's just real quick, a little apart from the ERC and business funding. Trying to remember if you can get this question off my head, the answer. Our customer financing provider, can you remind me who we're currently with right now?
Yeah, it's Enable.
It's still Enable. All right.
Enable, yeah, still Enable. They use several different companies.
Yeah.
But Enable is the provider we're using. Yes. Got
it. Perfect. And great Monday leadership call, David. Very powerful again, just like Friday. And it's just like you said, it's the willingness, the capability, and it's a lot of us, or I'm guilty of it. You go through the motion. About going through the motion is thinking about it, the steps, but you never really take action. So you go through the motion, but take action and sit down, get out there, and just share, inform, educate the message, and help some business owners out.
Love it. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, when I was talking to Marlo this morning about the baseball, because she's getting all kinds of innings, right, by speaking at this group, and some are Christian groups, some aren't, and so there's all these different, got to change up your meeting a little bit. Some are an hour long, some are 30 minutes, some are four days, so it changes each time as more innings on the mound, right? When you're in baseball, if you've never been a pitcher, it applies to any sports, whether it's art or drawing or sketching or writing, anything. But in baseball, you warm up on the sidelines. And that's just to get used to throwing strikes and making sure your arm's loose before you take the mound. That's the same thing, guys, what Nicholas is talking about. We can mull it over. We do have to think about it. We do have to practice. We do have to say the words. It's okay to call people and role play. You know, when we do trainings, we have something called the grind line, where you line up across from someone else, and you have a whole, let's say there's 100 people in the training, you have 2 lines of 50 facing each other, and the person on this side will talk to this one, and they'll call them and have a conversation with them. And you say switch, and they move one next. Now you're saying it to a new person, switch, and you move one more, and you say it to a new person and switch. And you've now said it 7 or 8 times to someone new each time, who gives you new feedback each time. That's like warming up on the sidelines, right? It's as much game friendly as we can, as much reality as we can, but you got a willing person. Then we say, okay, now start giving these objections, and you get that objection. You got to be able to answer it. Next, you already know it, you've read it in a book, but until you have to say it. So we reenact the real life conversations as best we can in our trainings. But in the end, there's still nothing like taking the mound. So role play with your partner, role play with your enroller, role play, call them and say, hey, just let me go through this conversation a little bit. Let me go through the conversation. That's like warming up on the sidelines, guys. There's baseball players still take batting practice. They know how to hit a baseball, but you got to stay in the groove over and 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 over again. And then you go up and you face 5 pitches. And then you go over and over and over and over and over and over and over again for 5 pitches. So it's the same thing here, guys. Go over it over and over and over and over. And if you haven't been doing that, go, no wonder I'm not confident or comfortable yet talking about it. I'm going to role play this week. I'm going to call someone, and by tomorrow, I'm going to have 100 conversations. It may be with an agent, but I'm going to say it 100 times, 100 different ways, come up with 100 different questions. Get after it. Get after it. When I played lacrosse, I remember spring break, I wasn't real good. I was new to the game and I wanted to play. And I remember spring break, I brought my lacrosse, it's called, it's the stick, and I would just throw it against the wall. From 3 feet from the wall. I got to catch it, throw it, catch it, throw it, catch it, throw it, throw it, left hand, catch it, throw, and just keep doing it against the wall. Oh, dropped it, picked it up, do it against the wall until I'm not even thinking and I'm switching. And before long, you're flipping behind your head and you just, but guess what? Until you do that and do that and do that and do that, the ball you don't feel it. It's not unconscious. It will become unconscious. Iterate, iterate, iterate. Demetros, how you doing, Demetros? You can unmute yourself. Then we'll go to Rock on the Road. There you go, Demetrius. How you doing, buddy?
I like your little plaque in the back there, the Hebrews 6:19. That's great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, love it.
Yes.
It's so true too. I got a quick question. It's not too detailed. How long is this projected the ERC to last or hang around until the money's gone, or is there a time period?
It's a great question. There is no limit to the money. It's not like the PPP loans, which they had a set budget approved by Congress. These are credits that the employers have already paid that are coming back to them. So there is no limit. The money it doesn't go away, but you can't amend. What you're really doing is getting a credit and you're amending your tax returns, your employee 941s for year 21 and year 20. So you can amend those up to a certain period of time. So they're saying this is really going to be open until about 2025, depending upon the quarter. So just say between 2023 and 2025, 2024 and 2025 for business owners. Now in 25, you won't be able to get all of it. You won't be able to go back and get it all, but you'll be able to get some of it. So right now is the time if you're available, if it's available, you can get it all. So for the next year and a half, they can get their whole credit.
David, I was told, and this might not be true, that they have only so much money to give out, and when that money's gone, is that true? Then the ERC stops. No,
that's not true. That's not true. That's the PPP loans. That is not true. That's
okay.
There's some companies in our industry teaching that to try to create a fear of loss to get people to talking to business owners sooner. Okay. But it's actually not true.
I got a call here to make after you talk, and I hope it's a good one. I've got a cousin up in New England. I'm from New Hampshire. A lot like Milford, Michigan. I looked at your city before. Quite nice.
Thank
you. It is a nice city. Yeah. I actually get their webpage. What's going on in Milton? It's funny. And no, she owns a big company. She's a food distributor. She's got 100 employees. We're not real close, but she's a first cousin. So I hope she says yes.
Well, you're doing your part, reaching out, right?
Yes, sir.
Some people like the color of the trees, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's my QR code on my window. Yeah, I don't want to show you that, but there you go. There's our
Yeah.
parking lot. Isn't that beautiful? Got a
It is.
waterfall right there. Yes. I
Yeah.
love our office. Great little village. Thank you. Well, good luck with that. You reach out, you have the conversations. You've done everything you can do, right?
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Are you Greek, Demetrius? Oh, he's already muted. Okay. My wife is 50% Greek, so my big fat Greek wedding, we've seen that movie I don't know how many times, and it's a lot of fun. Christmas, we always do the flaming cheese, and it's a blast. Love it. Rock, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning, David.
Good morning to you.
Hallelujah. Well, I just wanted to, relate a little experience, strength, and hope here to everybody. And it's kind of a story of what not to do and what to do. So I think I learned more probably from my failures.
Sure.
I've learned more being down in the valley of the shadow of death. It's unfortunate that it works that way, but no pain, no gain, right? So you got to go through that pain to get your butt out of that valley so you can start climbing the mountain again and find a mountaintop and say, yeah, I made it to the top of this mountain. So what I want to hopefully inspire some people to understand, and it sounds like we're going on another recruiting push, and I've heard this from you before, and I responded to it well, because recruiting is like easy for me. Okay, I can enroll somebody in something with my eyes closed, right? We always used to say back in the Amway days, that if you stick the right piece of literature in a dog's mouth and then send them out, you're bound to sign somebody up. If the piece of literature is good enough, they're going to look at it and go, oh, okay, I can go to this website, I can sign up. So, in this, already, 99 of my own personally enrolled, and helped a bunch of those team members enroll a whole bunch of people and got them all excited about DAC. But I never did what I had to do at my last job. So I'm going to use my last job from 23 years ago as an example, because I got hired by the owner to start a .com. He had me create the website. I created all of the support material, all the drop cards, if you will, right? Created a system of contacting insurance agents and real estate agents, because that was our target, to bring them on part-time to do our stuff. Well, the first thing that I had to do, and this is the point that I want to make, the first thing I had to do was I had to prove that the presentation to the business owner, or the conversation, the connect that I was making, that it was going to work, right? So I had to go out in the field and I had to talk the talk, but I had to walk the walk at the same time and prove I can sell this thing. And this presentation is a good one, and it's duplicatable. And if I teach this to these recruits that I got to bring in, they're going to get sales too. So I did all of that, and I got, to where I was doing 5 sales a week, 10 sales a week. I got up to 13 sales a week. Okay. And it was mostly, I won't get into what the product was, but the company's still in business, and I'm the one that launched the company. The guy got a total steal in having me because it was a job. It was not a contract with D.A.C. All right. So I built this beautiful sales force for him, right? I'm like driving all over Wisconsin. I'm recruiting people, and I'm taking them out in the field, and I'm showing them how they too could sell 13 a week like I was, right? And that they would be a manager eventually after they earned that right to have a territory in Wisconsin. Well, once I recruited everybody and I got everything in place, and I had my base salary, I think it was like 60 grand back then, 23 years ago, was a base salary. I had an office in downtown Madison right across from the Capitol. I'm big shot, right? I'm a big sales executive. But I was a stupid sales executive because I wasn't smart enough to contract with somebody like David Rutz, who was going to say, look, this contract is not going to change. Once you develop a territory, we're not going to screw you over and take all your clients. But that's exactly what happens in corporate sales if you don't understand this. And that was why it was my last job, because I prayed after that and I said, Yahweh, what am I going to do with my life? You know, I keep pouring myself into these companies and they keep screwing me over. What am I going to do? And he spoke to me, and I don't know if he speaks to you like he does to me, but it was like a megaphone. You will never work another job for the rest of your life. And I'm like, you know, you will be your own boss. All these things that I was learning and networking on as a part-time gig alongside of a job. And I always had great part-time businesses alongside of the job. But my point that I'm making is he fired me after I had his entire company set up, because I was supposed to, first year, I was supposed to be pulling about $250,000 total with my 60,000 salary. Okay. Now there's a lot more money 23 years ago, $250,000 than it is today. So it's a pretty big deal.
Now.
Yeah, it's still a lot of money now, but all I'm trying to say is realize
if you're going to build it, position yourself with somewhere where you benefit from it long term.
right. And the mistake that I've made in the 99 that I've set up is I didn't go out in the field and train all those people to do what I could do. And I know I can sell this. I can sell anything. I can sell ice cubes to Eskimos, right? So that's not even an issue.
So what you're saying is what you did in that corporation 20 years ago or whatever, where you worked one-on-one with each person to launch them up and help them be onboarded right, you've not done with your DAC agents.
Exactly.
And you're saying, wow, when I did it, it worked. When I don't, it doesn't. I got to apply what I did 20 something years ago to DAC. It's the right company, do it the right way, and win.
My strategy was that I would recruit them and then I just let you train them and then I would bank big time. Well, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. You know, when you're a sales manager and you know what that is like in corporate America, you know people need you to grab them by the hand and walk them through a process. You can send them to the 8 hours of training at the bottom of their resource center on their site, and that's a great thing to do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to engage like you talk about. Yes. So I just got to do what I know that I can do. And then this thing is a done deal. And I know it's eventually a big residual income. So I want to thank you for providing the opportunity, because I don't have to create the drop cards. I don't have to create the website. I don't have to create the presentation. It's already done by all of you guys on your side, which is great for me because that's a lot of overhead to develop all of that. I know that, you know, so I thank you very much.
And Rock, I appreciate. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the perspective of what it takes to build it and how easy it is to do, but how easy it is not to do right as well. We got Orlando Darden with us here. How you doing, Orlando?
David, I'm doing outstanding. It's a new week, a new day. I'm ready to keep rolling here.
Love it. Thanks
so much.
How can we help you today?
Quick question here. I was going through the PDF of the ERC Pro Bank Breezy D.A.C. Presentation, and a little thing, but an important thing. To me, it appears that there's a misspelling in one of the slides, and I'll read it to you how it reads right now. It says payroll taxes are taxes imposed on employers and employees and are usually calculated as a percentage of the salaries that employees pay their employees.
Employers pay their employees. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
you know what slide number that is? What PDF number?
It's let me tell you what slide. It's the third one down. It says payroll taxes, profit and loss, and payroll report. I read it like several times. I said, am I misreading something? Am I missing something? But it should read the salaries that employers pay their employees.
Okay. I'll make sure Jeremy is the one who made those for our training. So I'll let him know there's a typo, have him update it, and then we'll get updated ones put in our Agent Resource Center.
Yeah, there was one other one that I can't find that I came across as I was reviewing these slides over the weekend. When I find it, I'll just do an email to support at David Allen Capital for that then. Other than that, thanks again for the.
I know there's an error. He took a screenshot of our website, which had an error.
Yeah.
It said your, Y-O-U-R instead of U-R or apostrophe R-E. I forget how it was, but it's spelled wrong in the training. It's updated on our site now, but we'll have them update that as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, buddy.
One other quick thing.
Yeah.
Thank you again for this reticular activation system training. It is in the mundane routines that we build. We build that muscle success and everything else. And every great athlete or whatever said, I had to do the routine, mundane stuff before I got good. So it's in the routine stuff. I'm even continuing to embody that myself. It's the mundane, the routine, the stuff that will get you there, that will work out all the time. So thanks for that message again.
You bet, Orlando. Appreciate you, buddy.
Rock
Yeah,
on,
they
David.
say,
Thank you.
what do they say? Repetition is the mother of learning. You know, you can do it over and
Exactly.
over and over again. Right on.
Do it over and over and over again.
You got it. Thank you, buddy. Let's go to Dion. How you doing, Dion?
Hey, brother, how's everything going, man?
I'm doing great.
All right. I'm new, literally like 3 hours new. And I think we're about to fly. I wanted to know what would be the best way to grow my business. I'm an insurance agent. I am with the ERC program with another company. I don't want to get into that, but it just seemed like they're having a lot of hiccups and a lot more hiccups. And it's costing me money. So 3 questions. How can I build a good business with Dave Allen Capital? But also without going, I'm going to the training and everything like that. But I've always been taught to go wide, then go deep, if that makes sense. But also I want to make sure that as I go wide, you know, you have people who fall off because of their own personalities. But how can I retain good business people to show them that, you know, it's cool to have a dream, but it's good reality to make your own dreams come true. And that's hard work and dedication. So how can I, this time around, help people to not fall through the cracks? If you know what I mean. I'm trying to make it short but meaningful. Does that make sense what I said?
It makes a lot of sense. So let me unpack that a little bit. First thing, you're with whatever company you're with ERCs, there's some great companies out there, and there's some that are struggling. We'd love to have your business. We've looked into companies for a while before we chose. We even thought about partnering with CPAs ourselves, doing it ourselves. And we said, we're going to make too many mistakes, too much heavy lifting between now and experienced, and the time will be up. So let's just find someone who's been doing it. It's only been around a couple of years. So someone who's been doing it a long time, meaning a year or more, has helped thousands of clients already because they've already fine-tuned the billing process, everything. So that's what we went with, who we've gone with. So I'd give you confidence that you can go with our clients, with our provider, number one. As far as building a team, you know, the whole going wide before you go deep. And I understand that philosophy. And it's a network marketing term, in case there's anyone listening right now who doesn't know what he meant by that. What he meant by going wide before you go deep is personally enroll people, a lot of people, before you worry about helping to drive depth below them. Right. And so you don't need to worry about, 3 wide and then put everyone under those 3 and everyone under those 9 and everyone under those 27. There's all kinds of philosophies. Our pay plan pays you extremely well for people you personally enroll. Okay. And you can make 25%, even up to 50% of what they earn in personal commissions. So it rewards you significantly. It is our business strategy to reward people significantly who personally enroll productive agents, because we want you to productively enroll them. There's a lot of money left on the table if you enroll them wrong. They won't get any funding. You won't make 25 or 50% of their income. And the reason we double your income if you're active is we want you to be an example of getting clients, because we double your personal pay. And I'm talking to everyone right now, obviously, not just yourself, Dion, but when you personally enroll someone, you make 0, 25 or 50% of their personal income. And right now we've got incentives where anyone you enroll for 60 days, at least you make 25%. In fact, anyone you enroll right now, their first 2 deals, doesn't matter when they get them, you make at least 25%. They could get a client in 2028. You're still making 25% of their income, even if you're not engaged, because you enrolled them during this year, 2023, from May until now. So you couldn't enroll at a better time. But you can make 50% if you just are amped up by getting a client. So a certain type of client, you want to watch the pay plan to see what qualifies as an amped up client. It's a new client, 6,000 in funding or higher, funded value or higher, just so you know. But that will get you amped up to 50%. Now, if I go get a client, we had several clients today that we paid commission on that 20,000 funding, $40,000 funding. Let's just use a $20,000 funding. And that rep made 6% of that 20,000. It's $1,200. You either make 25% of 1,200 or 50% of 1,200 based on your activity level.
Okay.
If you're amped up, you're making 50% of the 1,200, you make 600. You don't need a lot of me. You don't need a lot of me's to do well. So you don't need to worry about what are you earning on depth. I'm a believer of you take care of your personal. This is my 3-step process. 1, take care of getting clients yourself. 2, personally enroll some producers and keep going until you got a team of 10 or 15, whatever that producer number is that you want to have to give you your income goals to make it worth your time. Those are like income properties to me. They're partnerships. You get revenue sharing on all their income. To me, those are like business partnerships. I'm an investor into a donut shop that I get a percentage of revenue every month. That's a business that I'm an investor in. I had to spend money, right, to get a revenue share. And my revenue share is nothing like what you can get if you recruit me and help me win. You can get 25 or 50% revenue share. Anything I make, you're making 25 or 50% of. It's unbelievable. So go wide. So first, part 1 is be good at getting clients yourself. Part 2, build a team of however many you want. Start with 1 and help them be productive. And then 3rd is taproot through your team. How do you taproot through a team best? Number 1, you duplicate with your personal level best. If you do the right things with your personal team, what are they going to do? The same. So you don't even need to teach the next level. They're learning the same thing that the people you personally enrolled are learning. If you got a rogue person who goes, no, I'm going to teach something different. I'm going to do it my own way. I'm going to do it my own way. You say, don't do that. Prove something on your own, and then we can teach your team. But teach what works. Teach the D.A.C. way. So number 1 is get clients the D.A.C. way. Number 2, build a personally enrolled agent team the D.A.C. way and help them win. Be engaged with them. Work on them one-on-one. Help them through the accountability that we talked about in the game plan. And then 3, taproot through your team to find leaders. And the best way you do that is duplicating the right message, but you also reaching out. Pull your hierarchy report once a week and see all the new agents started this week. You can pull a report based on when they join. And it's part of our longevity agreement. So you get it through the longevity database, but you pull your team report of all new agents who started in the last week, call them. Just, hey, Bill, I'm just reaching out to you. I see you joined D.A.C. I'm in your up team. I just love helping people succeed. I don't know, I see Marcy enrolled you. Great. I don't know if you and Marcy have had a chance to do a game plan yet, but I just want you to know I'm here to help. If I can ever help you with anything you got, I'm doing this. I'm getting after it. I'm getting clients. I'm building a strong personal team, and I want to help anyone in my team succeed. So if you've got goals, I want to help you reach them. Just reaching out, let you know who I am.
Thanks a lot. One last question before I leave, or before you leave. I'm in the Midwest, Illinois. Is there anybody who the guy who reached out to me is in Washington. Is there anybody who I could kind of partner with or take a look at what they're doing in the Midwest? How can I find that out?
In our Facebook group is the best way. Best way is in our Facebook group, D.A.C. agents. So it's facebook.com/groups/D.A.C. agents.
Okay.
Or just do a search in Facebook for D.A.C. agents, all one word.
Okay.
And join that group. And then you can put it in there. Hey, I'm in Illinois. Anyone want to get together? And you can do it that way.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you so much.
You bet. And welcome aboard, Dion. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Andrew Challenger. How you doing, Andrew? You can unmute yourself, buddy. We're coming to a close here. There you go, Andrew. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good, David. I'm pretty new. I'm in Florida. And you mentioned about getting in contact with the chambers of commerce and to attend a meeting. So when I go to the meeting, what do I bring with me?
You'd want your Connect cards if you've already gotten those. So the Connect cards have your QR code. They look like this. They're leave behind cards. I'm covering my QR code, but so these are your brochure basically. And until you have those, you bring your website address. Okay. So because what's going to happen is you get to give a little 5-minute presentation. Have you ever been a part of a chamber before, Chamber of Commerce? Okay. Typically what they do is they're networking. First of all, Andrew, welcome to D.A.C. You said you're fairly new, so thanks for being here. We love entrepreneurs who are going for it, and you're one of them, obviously. So a Chamber of Commerce meeting is nothing but a networking group where a bunch of people come together with like mind to share what they offer and look for referrals. So people will tell you about their pizza restaurant, and you go, okay, if I know anyone who needs pizza, I'm going to refer them to Gino's Pizza. Oh, here's a bank manager, and they help people get car loans. So if I know anyone looking for a car loan, I'm going to tell them about Marcy, the bank manager at the local Standard Bank. And then, here's a printer. If I know anyone needs printing, so everyone comes there with one reason: to network and get to know other people who are in the business of being in business, right? So you go there not just to look for referrals. I go there trying to refer more than anybody. That's my goal when I go to a meeting, is see who I can refer most. And I try to get them a bunch of referrals. I try to post on them on Facebook, something to speak positively about them. Why? Because then they'll return the favor. And because I want to be known as someone who's helping rather than asking for help. So, but if you go in there and you do that meeting and you present in the meeting what you have to offer, a lot of those people might be business owners who need funding, or they'll know someone who needs funding and they'll refer you out. So you go in there with you go through our training, and we talk in there what to say at a chamber meeting, but it's the same thing you'd say to a business owner direct. So you just share the features and benefits of our funding, who it's for, who it's not for, and how someone can find out how they can qualify. And you can say, I got a stack of these sitting over on the counter over there. You can go grab one, or you can come talk to me personally. Love to help you. Then you talk to them, but you get all their cards, and now you reach out to them after the fact too. Hey, I met you at the Chamber of Commerce meeting. I just want to learn more about your roofing company because I may know someone who needs a roof. Are you residential, commercial? Okay, you're all commercial. All right, I'll think of any business owners I know who need a roof. Thanks. And did you fully understand I'm in business funding? You get what we're doing? Yeah. Do you see where we help? Yeah. Okay, great. If you know anyone who needs business funding, can't get approved at the bank, you know I'm their guy. And if I know anyone who needs an industrial roof, I know you're their guy. And we'll see if we can refer some business to each other. Make sense?
Yep.
All right. So
All right,
training,
thank you.
that gives you the ballpark. Now, obviously, you go practice it a little bit in the training. But welcome, Andrew. Glad to have you part of the
All right.
team.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day. Demetrius got his hand up again, so maybe he's got another question, or maybe I just didn't.
Okay, can you hear me, David? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't call you back for this reason. Yeah, I'm half Greek and I'm American Indian.
Well, there you go. American Indian first day of Native American Heritage Month, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
Did you know that?
I'm part of the Algonquin tribe from Kentucky all the way up to Maine.
All right. Well,
no, go ahead.
And your Native American ancestors married someone Greek.
Yeah, that's so, yeah.
I love it. I love it. So which culture do you lean toward, one culture over the other for part of your family, or no?
More so toward the Greek, because I know more about the recipes and the people. I've been to Greece several times. The American Indians, I don't really know that many of them, because the Algonquin tribe is all spread out into society. They don't really have too many tribes, reservations on point. But your wife is half Greek. That's interesting.
Yes.
Wow. Does she cook Greek food for you?
Oh yeah. And
like
she's
that?
Lebanese too, so we get Lebanese and Greek.
Oh yeah. What about moussaka? You ever had the Greek?
Oh
food?
yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite. I make it all the time. I call you back for this reason. I want to share this with your agents and you. It's interesting you brought up Chambers of Commerce. And I haven't been to my local one yet, but I do plan to go. But I came across recently, and there's plenty of room for all of us. Have your agents go to a Chamber of Commerce. There's about 3 links. It covers all 50 states. And what you get on there is you get their website, you get their names, you get their email, and I call them from the chambers. I go to any state, any city. I shared it with one of our other people here on Facebook, and she was happy to get it. But go to the computer and put it in Google, master link for chambers, and you'll get all kinds of cities, states, towns. You go there and you look at the membership directory, you find out where you want to target, like auto repair, restaurants, and you'll have so many leads, you agents, that you'll love it. And I also use, for a second, I use Yelp, but I don't like Yelp as much, but Yelp's pretty good. And that gives you a lot of information. I just wanted to share that with you and the agents, because there's 30 million people there in business. So we can reach out and grow our business.
Love it.
Yes,
Love
sir.
it. Thank you,
Well,
Demetrius. Appreciate it. And we've got one more hand up, Marcella, before I go to Marcella, and then we're going to end. I just want to talk well, Marcella, we'll go to you first, and then I'll bring us home after that. So go ahead, Marcella.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Just wanted to get back to that role playing. Not all of us have a person that we can get on the phone with. Some of us are islands in the organization. So another thing that you can real easily do is practice out loud, do it in front of your mirror, and just doing that, 10, 20 times a day, every morning, so that it becomes natural for you. You can also write out, I call it the elevator pitch. I come from the startup world. So 90 seconds or less, explain what your business is and what you can offer to the community, and do it in wording that comes natural to you. So that's what I wanted to add on.
Love it. Appreciate the insight. Dion, Fifi, it's great stuff, Marcella. Thank you. Dion, you're back one more time.
Yeah, one quick question. If you had somebody who went through another ERC program and they didn't get as much as they could, can they go through this program to see if they qualify for a little bit more?
Yeah, they probably won't. I mean, they could, but if they've already got an ERC, they'd have to amend their taxes again, and it starts to become quite a mess. So I think they probably already got the credit they're entitled to. Most people are giving the maximum credit, unless their accountants aren't experienced and don't know all the different avenues to maximize this. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough at this point. If they've already got a credit, they probably are pretty much, that's what they're going to get.
Okay, thanks so much.
You bet. All right. So with that, let me just bring this home. Marcella brought up a great point about role playing. Our community, the D.A.C. agents community, is designed to encourage and uplift people, just like the training center. When you come in a training center and you're in an environment or a real estate office, you've all driven by a Century 21 office or a Keller Williams office or whatever. That's a center where everyone can go, and they're not all in each other's team, but they're all in the same business, real estate, right? Anyone who's in the D.A.C. agents page they're in many businesses, but they're in D.A.C. And so you can find some encouragement there. And there's nothing wrong with putting a post up. I'd love to role play with someone, but don't let it be a handicap. Who was I playing catch with lacrosse on spring break? The wall, myself. Someone who practices free throws, who are they practicing with? Themselves and the net and the ball, right? Marcella said it. It's okay to stand in front of a mirror. You can do it in your car. You can say it right now when we hang up. Get the bullet points, the beliefs. Go through the beliefs in your head. What are the beliefs? Do you believe the business owners are rock stars and they got good ideas and they need working capital to launch those strategies, and 8 out of 10 can't get it from the bank, and they need to get it through revenue-based capital, therefore, or their friends and family. Most friends and family don't have it, so they need to get it through revenue-based capital. And of all the revenue-based capitals out there, D.A.C. is the best because we're partnered with Bank Breezy, one-stop best offer from all the different sources. You don't have to apply at 30 places. You can apply at one and get answers from all the places that you're eligible to apply for. The best pricing, without any of the bad ones, without any of the unscrupulous ones, only the best ones. And you can get that offer without having to pay any money up front. You don't have to have a hard credit pull. You get one soft FICO score, and you can find out your funding amount, and you can say no, and it costs you nothing. And it can all be done 100% online. Wow, this really is amazing. I got the best source of capital. Credit. Okay, someone who needs an income tax credit or a ERC credit, their CPA, if they didn't already reach out to them, my gosh, why not? But if their CPA didn't reach out to them, maybe because they're overwhelmed and understaffed, so they can't reach out to them, because you can't call 700 people you do taxes for and figure out if they're eligible for credit on your dime. So, and how do you charge them? You charge them per hour, and half of them aren't eligible. So instead, I don't do anything. Well, now you have a way that they can find out if they're eligible without having to spend a dime up front. Find out if you're eligible without having to spend a dime up front. So now belief comes if they've been a rock star employer who retained their employees all through COVID, and they're eligible now for getting some credit back to them of money they already paid, getting it back based on how many number of employees. They didn't lay off their people who then took advantage of unemployment free money. The employees, they kept them on their payroll and paid them, even though they had a negative impact. Let's get them a credit back. They're the rock stars of the employer world who deserve it more than anybody. Let's get them a credit back. And we don't know if they're entitled or not, but if they match these three things, why not get them an answer at no cost? If they only pay if and when they get a credit, so there's no burden to them. The only knock you can have on it is say, well, I don't think they should have to pay 20%. Okay, then use someone else. But everyone else charges up front. You tell them to call their CPA and see what their CPA is willing to do it for. It's going to take them 6 to 9 hours just to learn the code. And then each one takes about 5 or 6 hours minimum. So what are you going to charge? And there's no credit? What are you going to charge them for those 6 hours of your time, Mr. CPA, Mrs. CPA? $300 an hour, $200 an hour. Now you're charging them $1,500 to tell them they don't have a credit coming. They say, well, you can figure it out quicker than that. No, you could incorrectly. There's all kinds of little nuances that need to be explored, little tunnels that need to be explored. So with that said, we've got the best in both. Now, once you know those beliefs, just practice saying it. If once you believe it, you don't need words to say it. Sorting question, short explanation, short invitation. Sorting question, short explanation, invitation. Hey, did you already get your ERC credit? That's your sorting question. Yeah, I did. Great. That means no. They don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, are you talking about that PPP thing? No, I'm talking about the employee retention tax credit that came out just over a year ago to give you as an employer money back for keeping your employees. Did you keep employees through COVID? Yeah. Did you have any negative impact from your business? Yeah. Well, then you're probably eligible to get a credit back up to 26 grand per employee. Short explanation. If you want, we can find out. There's no cost to have a CPA look at it. You pay a percentage of your credit if and when you ever get a credit, but there's no cost to see if you're eligible. You interested in finding out if you're eligible? Okay, I'll send you a link. You started the process. That's it. It's that simple. Hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm in business funding. You got a great business. You ever everything you want to expand or grow, you could ever use working capital for? Always. There's your sorting question. No, I don't need working capital. I don't have any good ideas. No, I don't need working capital. I'm set. I got plenty of money in the bank. Okay, great. No problem. Because we love to help. Even if they say, yeah, I'm good. Great. Because we do business capital. We love to help business owners who have strategic ideas to grow and need working capital. We love to supply that working capital. We'll give them advance, no collateral required, so they can pursue those ideas. So anyway, if you know anyone who ever needs it, because they already said they don't, but I still share that short explanation, because guess what? There's always people, even if they say they're good, that doesn't mean they don't want to have access to working capital. So just share and invite for a link. That's it. How many times can you say that over and over? All right, guys. So Marcella, great idea, practicing in front of the mirror. It's common sense, but a lot of people don't do it. You want to iterate the conversations, be really good at talking to clients. And of course, this is the Monday leadership. It's gone long today, but it's all about talking to personally enrolled agents and building your personally enrolled agent team. So focus on onboarding right as we've gone through in this training. God bless you, everyone. Have a great week. Tomorrow night, BizOp meeting, 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern, fill it up with people you'd love to be on your personally enrolled agents. Ask them if they have a passion to help business owners in their community. And their community can be anywhere nationwide. We've got a BizOp meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock for them to learn more, followed by a 9 o'clock training on ERCs and funding. God bless you, everyone. Have a great day.